Today, I'm diving deep into the world of BRICS to ask a bold question. Are they secretly controlling our money? This isn't just about conspiracy theories or far-out ideas. This is about facts, patterns, and global power moves that could directly affect your wallet, your investments, and your future. Now, for those who don't know, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These 5 countries form a group that's been steadily rising in power over the last couple of decades. They are working together economically and politically, and their influence on the global stage is growing faster than many people realize. In fact, BRICS represents over 40% of the world's population and contributes around 25% of the world's gross domestic product. That's a serious share of global economic activity. But here's where things get even more interesting. These countries aren't just growing individually, they're cooperating as a unified force. And this partnership has caught the attention of financial experts, governments, and international institutions. So, what are they up to? Is this just healthy economic growth? Or is there a deeper strategy behind the scenes? Some experts believe BRICS is trying to rewrite the rules of the global economy, and not just by growing bigger, but by creating alternatives to the systems currently dominated by Western powers, like the United States and Europe. One of the key concerns is the potential for BRICS to manipulate global markets and currency values. Together, they have the numbers, the resources, and the ambition to shift power away from traditional global institutions. Think about it. If these countries coordinate on trade policies, they could tilt the playing field in their favor. They could negotiate deals that support each other and exclude others. They could build a system where they have the upper hand, and the rest of the world has to catch up. Let's break this down further. The global economy is like a massive game of chess. Every country is a player, making moves, forming alliances, and protecting their own interests. BRICS has been playing this game quietly, but strategically, and it's starting to show. One major move they've made is forming their own financial institutions. You've probably heard of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. These are institutions created after World War II, mostly run by Western countries, to help manage global financial systems and offer loans to countries in need. But in 2014, BRICS launched their own version, the New Development Bank. This bank is based in Shanghai and was created to fund infrastructure and development projects in BRICS nations and other developing countries. What's the big deal? Well, for starters, this gives BRICS countries the power to make their own rules. They don't have to go to Western-run institutions for help. They can help each other. This move weakens the dominance of the West in financial matters and builds financial independence within the BRICS circle. They also created the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, which is like a financial emergency fund. If any BRICS country faces a crisis, say a major drop in currency value or inflation, they can borrow from this fund instead of turning to the IMF. It's another way they're pulling away from existing global power structures and building their own. So, what does this mean for the rest of us? It means that BRICS is positioning itself as a global economic force that doesn't play by the traditional rules. And they're encouraging other countries to do the same. In fact, more than 40 countries have shown interest in joining BRICS or forming partnerships. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and even Argentina have been in talks about becoming part of this group or aligning their economic strategies with BRICS. If these expansions continue, we could be looking at a much bigger BRICS in the near future, one with even more influence over trade, finance, and global policy. But here's where things start to feel real for everyday people like you and me. One of the biggest developments is BRICS' discussion around creating their own currency. That's right. a BRICS currency that could be used in trade instead of the US dollar. For decades, the US dollar has been the world's primary reserve currency. That means it's used in international trade, held in global central banks, and seen as a symbol of economic stability. But if BRICS launches a new currency and other countries adopt it, the dollar could lose its power. And that would have massive consequences. For example, oil is traded in US dollars around the world. If BRICS decides to buy and sell oil using their new currency, demand for the dollar could drop. That could weaken its value. For Americans and Canadians, that could mean higher prices on imports, higher interest rates, and a tougher time for businesses that rely on international trade. Even investments could take a hit. Stock markets are connected globally, and changes in currency strength ripple across borders. If BRICS changes the game, the entire system will shift, and we'll all feel it, whether we realize it or not. So, is BRICS secretly controlling our money? Not exactly. But are they building the tools and alliances that could give them that power? Absolutely. Their actions aren't hidden. But the full impact hasn't been felt yet. And that's what makes this so important to watch. Now, some people argue that BRICS is just trying to create a more balanced world. That they're tired of the old system, where a few powerful countries make all the decisions, and the rest follow. And that's fair. It's true that many developing countries have felt left out of key decisions about trade, finance, and development. By creating their own institutions, BRICS is saying, we're not waiting for a seat at your table. We're building our own. And for countries that feel excluded, that's appealing. It means more choices, more freedom, and more control over their futures. But power always comes with responsibility. If BRICS uses its influence fairly and transparently, it could help create a more equal global economy. But if they start using their power to dominate or manipulate, it could cause instability, conflict, and financial shocks. We've seen this before in history. When too much power concentrates in one group's hands, it rarely ends well for everyone else. That's why the world is paying attention. Governments, economists, investors, they're all watching BRICS closely, because the decisions made today could shape the financial systems of tomorrow. And here's the takeaway for you. Whether you live in North America, Europe, Asia, or anywhere else, the moves BRICS makes will affect your life. It could affect how much you pay for groceries, gas, or rent. It could influence where companies choose to invest, who gets jobs, and how stable your currency is. This isn't just a story for bankers or politicians. It's a story for everyone. A story that's still being written. So, what do you think? Is BRICS just trying to balance the scales? Or are they slowly building a financial system that puts them in charge? The truth is, we won't know the full answer for a while. But what we do is stay informed, ask the right questions, and pay attention to the signs. This is one of the biggest shifts in global economics we've seen in a generation. And I'll be following every development so you don't have to. If you found this video helpful, or if it got you thinking differently, let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Is this the beginning of a new financial era? Or just another shift in global alliances? Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay ahead of the curve. I've got more deep dives coming your way on money, economics, global power, and everything in between. Thanks for watching. Stay smart, stay curious, and let's keep the conversation going. Whether BRICS is building a better system or planning something bigger, one thing's for sure, the world is watching. And so am I. Leave a comment so we can keep the conversation going.